Dinner time never looks so good, baby.
All right, so everybody today, is kind of being more a little conscious about cooking and meal preps. No better than review time with Tim here because I'm always doing food reviews, right? So I want to give a little breakdown of a meal that I could cook for the fam. Okay, this is for a fam of 4 now. Okay, 2 adults, 2 little chillins. All right, I'm going to break down the price and how this is going to look. So let's take a little look at what we're cooking tonight for a little review time with Tim family. All right, come on. All right, so here's what we got so far. So we have 2 packs of the barbecue boneless spare ribs from Market 32. That first pack is $4.68. All right, the next pack, because we got 4 of us, right? The next pack is $5.06. So I'm going to add all this up afterwards. Okay, we're going to have some fettuccine tonight, a little Borelli. Now, there is cheaper varieties out there, so you can get the store brand, okay? But that brand right there, Walmart, okay? I got that at Walmart, $1.84 for this right here. $1.84 for that. Now, Market 32, extra fine, steam bagged green beans right here, okay? $2.19. Okay? Now, so we're gonna add that. Ooh, let's see what's happening here in the air fryer. I'm gonna pop this air fryer real quick so we can take a little look at these ribs. These spare ribs, already pre-seasoned from the counter. Ooh, all right, that's looking good. I'm gonna pop that in. Ooh, no, they ain't done yet though. Back on, baby. Now, with this pasta, you can add sauce, you can add Alfredo, you can make your own, whatever. I'm going to go super simple, even more basic than that. The cheapest possible way, being the cheapskate, okay? We're going to add some great value butter, sweet cream salted butter. Now, I'm not even going to use this entire stick, but if you break down the entire box per 4, I'm spending $1.59 per stick. But I'm only probably going to use maybe a quarter of that, add that, maybe one tablespoon. I'm going to use probably about this much butter in it, okay? The rest of that's going to be able to use for the rest of the week. So for that piece, that's not too bad on the price tag because I'm only going to be using about this much. I'm not going to be using any other salts, any other seasonings. I'm just going to put the butter in there. Keep it simple, keep it basic, keep it low price. So as you can see, there is plenty of food there, okay? More than enough to have people that have 2 helpings. Now, you don't need to have 5-6 ribs. Don't be going over an indulgence now, especially if you're trying to ball out on a budget. All right, but all that food. Now, like I said, we're not even using that whole stick of butter, so you're going to be able to use more of that for later on down the road. Okay, we're looking at right here, $15.36. Look at it. I didn't even want to waste a piece of paper. Look at it. I'm doing it on a freaking ramen noodle cup because I be hitting them ramen noodle reviews left and right, boy. Yeah. Now, some might say, well, my water's going to be saltless. Yep, my water is going to be saltless. But, I got that up here. I do have a little bit of salt left, but, I got, look at this right here. I got salt. Right here. Dollar Tree. Bought a little pack of this. And the pepper came with it, $1.25. And I've had that for like 2 months. Because you don't need a whole lot of salt. We already got high blood pressure in America as it is, right? So a little less salt is better for you anyway. Green beans, all you need is 1 pack. There's plenty there for everybody. No waste, no need to throw it out. Throw that in there, zap it up. So as you can see, my boiler is coming to a boil. And I'm going to put my more expensive name brand pasta in there, all right? Now, like I said, you can buy even the cheaper. You can still find pasta at Walmart or even maybe not your local grocery stores, but I know at Walmart you can still find 89-cent and 99-cent pasta, okay? I just bought this at Walmart because I was like, I'm going to go with a little bit of potentially higher quality. Not necessarily that it's actually going to be higher quality because it's a more name brand, but I figured, you know what, for $1.89, it's still under $2. That's still a pretty good bargain. All right? So, that's where I'm going with. All right? Now, I'm just going to lay that down right there in the pasta bowl. I'm just going to do all of it right there. Yep. There you go. That's what I'm going to do. And then you know what I'm going to do with that? Yeet! That's what I'm going to say about that. Get a little facial here. Open up the pores. See who needs to go to the spa when all you got to do is lean over your pasta bowl boiling. Now, as you can see, we're taking a dive into review time with Tim is rarely ever seen inside of your refrigerator. Yeah, that's right. Look at this. This is what it looks like. Look at that. I got some pasta sauce up in there for some great value. Okay, if I want to add that to my pasta afterwards, if I don't want the butter, somebody wants some 4 cheese pasta sauce, basic, simple, yeah, we can add that on there for them if they like, if they choose. Okay, ooh, look at the grapes are almost gone. Ooh, the 1 pack of strawberries, because strawberries are so ridiculous, because everything from Mexico now is costing so much money. Got some apples left over here, but you know what? We're not going to eat those because that's like for lunch or something. Now, someone might say, but those barbecue spare ribs, they barely got any flavoring on them, all right? That's when you go to this random section in your refrigerator here, the door section, where a lot of stuff never gets used, and you know what you go and find? That look, see, look, right here. Look at this, brown sugar barbecue sauce. There's plenty in there. That's plenty left to dip your meat into right there. And then if you want something else, like, oh, look at Mrs. Butterworth. Ooh, Mrs. Butterworth. All right, you know, they got some weird teriyakis, and they got some bunch of random stuff, you know, ketchup. So you kind of work from there. Like, oh, okay, well, maybe not classic Catalina, but, you know, who doesn't like some ranch? So you look to see what you got left in the leftovers, in the magical door where they keep the magic. And then you find this kind of stuff, and you're like, yep, I can use that. Yes, it'll add to your price tag, but you've already bought this, and you only got this much left. All right, look at that. Magic. The magic right here. Nicely done. Barbecue seasoned ribs. Okay, boneless from the meat counter. That looks pretty good, and I guarantee you they're going to have a nice little taste. You got all that nice little char, just like if you were cooking it on the grill. Ooh, that's going to just be, yummy. And you might say, that's not enough food. That's 2 ribs per person, and that's plenty. Now, if maybe you got a younger one, maybe they only eat 1, and then you got somebody else, somebody only eats a half of 1. You know, those are thick. Them are thick. Look at that. Look how thick that is. So plenty of meats. That's enough to give you the meat sweats, for sure. All right, so here we have it. We got our green beans. Now, I did add a little bit of extra butter on that, but that was still calculated in because I calculated the whole cost of the stick versus per slice. Okay, and then I have here my $1.80 some odd pasta right here. Plenty here for everyone to have. Ooh, look at that, baby. Now, I did cheat a little bit, okay? And I did add myself a little bit of nature seasoning on there. Only a couple little sprinkles because I had it on hand. Of course, that would add to the overall total of things, right? You got to remember, that's going to add to it. And then over here, okay, we got them slip-smacking ribs, baby. Woo! All right, so there you have it. This is the plate. This is what someone's going to get for dinner tonight, right? Look at that. 2 good-sized speared barbecued ribs, boneless style. Some green beans and some fettuccine pasta. I mean, look at that. Look, that's a whole plate of food right there. So there you have it. This right here, the $15 meal, okay? Breaking it down per person, per plate, $3.84. Right here, this is $3.84. 2 lip-smacking ribs. Some pasta. No, it's not dry. Put butter on it. Okay, and yes, I added some nature seasoning, adding potential to the cost. And then I got some steam bag green beans, but that's what you can get right there at home, making your meals, if you're tight on a budget, feeding the fam, okay? $3.84 for this entire plate of food. If you like this kind of content, subscribe, follow, and I'll keep pumping out more of these type of videos for you people that are trying to ball out on a budget.